Right, well today thought I'd do a little video. I acquired a pair of Ox motors and I'm a little bit sceptical. I thought, you know, in for a penny, in for a pound. One of them was seized up, absolutely rock solid. That one I've already rebuilt and it works absolutely fine. I'll put a little video up on that in a minute. And the second one was, it was turning freely, extremely noisy, but absolutely nothing on the power. And so many times we throw these things away. But in actual fact, they're relatively straightforward. So I thought I'd show you the brush pack that I took out of the one that had overheated. It looks like it's been living in the bottom of a lake. So obviously the brushes go in this part here. They were absolutely seized in there solid, and I knocked them all apart, managed to get all the little screws undone. So that, by the by, that was the offending part on this one, I believe. And there we go, one new brush pack fitted. They're quite easy to do. You get the actual cable that goes through the casing on the motor. That's included with the brush pack. And you've got one down there. There's one tucked inside there, two, there's one down inside there, three, and another one there, four. So there's 4 screws that hold this brush pack on. And then you've got your 2 contacts of your brushes. One goes from there onto that screw, and the other one is round this side. It's actually tucked underneath there. The way I got that one, I undid this one, I moved this copper bar out, did that screw up, and then I moved the copper bar back in again. So that's the brush pack back together again, all looking lovely, lovely. And then I'll turn to the armature, or whatever you want to call it, the windings. Standard bearing on the top, 6203 bearing on the top, and a 6202 bearing on the bottom. Both of those I've replaced because the ones that were on this motor were really, really rough, really noisy. I'm quite confident with this one. We're going to put it all back together again in a minute and see if we can get it back up on its feet. Whether or not, I don't know. But, so there's a before and after pitch of what we had. Absolute mess. And like I say, this motor was given to me in a real poor state. I'll pop some pictures up of that one, but it was really bad. I'll give it as good a clean as I can with the limited facilities that I've got. We'll see how we get on getting it back together again. So the first thing we need to do, we get hold of one big casing. There's the casing. I've cleaned all these bits up in here with some emery paper. I've cleaned all the mud and the water out of here, and the issue being that the end cap had been removed off of this one, I think, and there's a rubber O-ring that sits around the base of the motor. Sorry, I've got it out the wrong way. The base of the motor down this end, there's a rubber O-ring that sits in there, which wasn't there. It was took out and it was gone. There's also another rubber O-ring in this part here. That piece there sits in the recess that I showed there. So we're going to get some just some standard Wins gasket maker on there. I'm going to make a cup of coffee and I'll get a little bit further on and then pop another video up as we start assembling it together.